We are on Barro Colorado Island, which is the largest landmass in the middle of Lake Gatun. Barro Colorado Island is actually the research station for the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute. There's 34 staff scientists that work for the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute year-round. The island itself can house up to 64 people. In the North American summer, all of our rooms are filled with either students or professors doing research here on the island. Panama in general is a great place for viewing wildlife because it's a funnel for a lot of migratory animals, and it's in the perfect location for the 4 species of monkeys that we have. Lots of migratory birds have to go along the isthmus, and there's 2 oceans on either side of a really skinny peninsula, so it's almost like a funnel for wildlife. And now we're on an island which has some of the oldest forests in Panama because it's been protected as a reserve since 1924. And so there's only about 6 square miles for animals to roam, so your chances of seeing something cool are pretty high. Howler monkeys are our largest primate. We have over 1,000 individuals and about 30 troops on the island. They are herbivores, so they feed primarily off of leaves and fruits. And they form family groups where there's usually an alpha male and several subservient males and some females. They howl for territorial displays, so they don't want to compete with other individuals of their same species. So they will sound off this incredible roar that sounds like a jaguar in order to let the other troops know where they are so they don't compete for the same food source. During the middle of the day, the howler monkeys are often stretched out on some of these really high branches way up in the canopy, and so you will only see a foot or maybe a tail wrapped around a branch. But because they're primarily leaf eaters, they spend a lot of time eating leaves and digesting. I came originally as a researcher, and so it's really interesting to live on the island doing research and then sharing what you know with visitors. If you look up, you can see its branches doesn't have any leaves, and it's starting to produce its fruits right now. So by the end of the dry season, the wind will blow those seeds away, and then it will flush its leaves. So this is a beautiful Bombaceae tree. Every day I go for a walk on the island, I see something new, or I see something from a different perspective, and it's always filled with some new treasure or new sighting that I haven't seen before.
We're in the middle of the Gatun Lake. We're approaching the Gaylord Cat, which is the stretched part on the Panama Canal, and we're going to be witnessing the expansion of the Panama Canal. We're going to see lifts, we're going to see trucks, we're going to see cranes, we're just going to see heavy machinery working. Right after that, we will pass through the bridge of the Chagres River and the connection of the Chagres River, and then we'll start the Gaylord Cat, which is a 12-mile stretch that took 61 million pounds of dynamite to blast. We're heading towards Pedro Miguel Locks and then towards Miraflores Locks. There's 3 steps to go down from the 85 feet above sea level that we are now, the level of the Gatun Lake. These locks are separated and they're not together like the Gatun in order to save and conserve water. It was more water efficient to construct the locks separated. So we will go through Pedro Miguel, which is the biggest of all the locks that are in the Panama Canal, since the ship will be brought down 28.5 feet, and then we will go to 26 feet locks which are in Miraflores. Pedro Miguel and Miraflores Locks work on the same way than Gatun locks. They're just huge water elevators that will bring the ship down from 85 feet level down to the ocean. Every time I go through the Panama Canal, it's an amazing experience. You cannot get tired of seeing the greatness of the construction of the Panama Canal, the trees that surround us, and the big ships that go through the Panama Canal. Through this voyage, we'll have accomplished one of the main icons, which is the Panama Canal, and we'll be heading towards Costa Rica.